It's not right. It literally isn't right. By the title of this video, you already know what I'm talking about. I went to bed yesterday and saw the rumors that the Pistons and Derrick Rose, my favorite player, had agreed to mutually part ways, looking for a trade. And I'd seen the Knicks and all these rumors, and he had been there before. And it didn't work out, obviously. And the Knicks are 7th right now in the East. I just got some food, come back, and now he's back on the Knicks. And that aggravates me because this dude is 32 years old. He was the youngest MVP ever. Overcame all these injuries. And he hasn't been put in a chance to win, since he left the Bulls. In 2015, that was probably the last good chance that we had to win. Goes to the Knicks, train wreck. Goes to the Cavs. Yeah, they were supposed to be good. That didn't work out though, and they traded him. Goes to Minnesota, and it looked good at first. Wasn't anything close to good when it ended, with the whole Butler stuff. And then the Pistons, they were just horrible. And now he's back on the Knicks, who they're not a title contender. They're a playoff contender. So it's okay, I guess. But he's played, this is, if you didn't include the year he missed from the ACL, this would be his 13th season in the league. Most even stars or whatever, veterans, he would play 15 years in the league. So nobody knows how much longer he's got left. And I get he's a free agent in the summer, but it's dude, more time keeps passing. And it doesn't make sense because the one place that I wanted him to go was the Clippers. Because, I saw people make rumors about the Lakers. You can make rumors about the Nets. But the Clippers, their biggest need is a guard that can play make. Especially with how Lou Williams has played this year. And now he's not going to be going there this year. And it's oh, well, it's only this part of the season with the Knicks. Then he can go to the Clippers next year. But again, I don't want him jumping from team to team all around. He can just be tossed around like a rag doll. And the other thing is, Kawhi's literally a free agent in the summer. And he hasn't committed to staying or leaving yet. So if the Clippers do bad, then, he's not going to go there. Or if he does go there, they're not winning a title if they don't have Kawhi. Even if he went to the Lakers, that would elevate his chances to win. Same with the Nets. But how much is he going to play alongside Kyrie, James Harden, and Spencer Dinwiddie? And Joe Harris even too. There's just a ton of guards on the Brooklyn Nets. So then he goes to the Knicks, who have Tom Thibodeau, who, I don't know. It's really funny because for so long, Tom Thibodeau had a play in this. He had some influence in getting Rose to the Knicks. And, he obviously coached him when he won MVP. He coached him all his time with the Bulls. He coached him in Minnesota. And you could argue that he actually like brought his career, like resurrected it, whatever. But you know, he was still playing well last year in Detroit. Now this year, his numbers were down because his minutes were down and everything. But I mean, he still wasn't playing that bad. And there were a ton of teams that were still interested in him. I don't know why, like, especially with the Knicks, like, they have a ton of young dudes right now. Like, they just got RJ Barrett about, like, a year or two ago. Emmanuel Quickly is playing insane at the point guard spot. And, yeah, you could use Rose maybe as, like, a mentor to him. But for, like, 2 months, what I was going to do today is I was going to record a video saying it was going to be titled "It's Time." And if I have like I think I made the thumbnail, I'll put it like on the screen at this time. I was literally going to drop a video about this either later today or like tomorrow, about it's time. He needs to go to a contender. He's in year 13, you know, get him on a contender and then end his career with the Bulls, because I think everyone wants to see him also end his career with the Bulls, because that's like where he started. That's where a lot of people, that seems like the wave nowadays, like we saw with D-Wade, whatever. But now he's with the Knicks, so it's like, and he's not going to win with the Knicks, obviously. You might go to the playoffs with the Knicks. What I will say, though, is that with the Knicks, is he will have a chance to play inspired basketball, which I think brings out the best in him. You know, during the MVP run, that was some of his most inspired days playing basketball, because he wanted to prove to everyone, he's like, why can't I be the MVP of the league? Then, you know, once he got traded to the Knicks, that first year with the Knicks, he was out to, you know, prove everyone wrong. And he pretty much did. And then when he went to the Cavs, his role was kind of changed, and it seemed like everything was going downhill. But then he came back with the Timberwolves and tried proving everyone wrong again in the later half of that season, and then also like the next season. And like, I feel like he's a better like complete player too when he plays inspired basketball, because, you know, like the defensive side too, like people say he's a bad defender, and I don't understand that, because I watched a ton of his games and he's just like really good at defensive positioning. You might not have the stats to back it up, but in terms of defensive positioning, he's always in the right spot. And you could even see like some of the stuff he did to like Harden in the playoffs 3 years ago when the Timberwolves played. Like, yeah, the Rockets won that series, but Harden was having problems against, you know, him and Jimmy Butler. But I don't know how to feel about this, because like, you know, you already know he's not going to make the All-Star team this year. He's not going to win a championship this year. So now it's like, it's almost like this year basically just started. We're like a month in, and you already know, like, you know, nothing's going to come out of this year really for him. You know, maybe he could raise his stock so more teams will come after him next year. But I don't know. I think it's time for him to go to a contender. I never saw anything. I saw people say he didn't want to go to the Clippers. I don't get that, because I'm pretty sure before the season he said, I want to go somewhere to win a ring. Like, it's time for me to win a championship. So I don't think that was true. And like the fact that he like just wanted to go to the Knicks, I think it was just him and the Pistons agreed, like, we need to get a trade going. So I don't know how to feel about it. I guess we'll see, like, once they start playing more games. But I don't know. It feels weird. Like, first, in some way, I feel like kind of upset with Thibodeau, who I've always backed up. You know, I've never, like people say, blame Thibodeau for his DRose's ACL injury. I've never said that was his fault. You know, they said like he ruined his career, and I said, nope, that's not your fault. But now it's like you're taking away a chance for him to win a title. Everyone wants to see him go win a title. Like, you could see comments everywhere. Everyone's like, poor DRose, because you see these other veterans like Carmelo Anthony. He's at least on a really solid team in Portland. You could argue when healthy, they're a top 3, top 4 team in the West. So it just like doesn't make too much. We saw Dwight Howard last year, and now he's on the Sixers too. He's getting in opportunities to win a title. And the thing is, like, Rose could probably contribute more than both of them, So, I don't know. I wanted him to go to the Clippers or somewhere that would be, like, contending and he'd get, like, a decent role. Maybe, like, the Jazz wouldn't really make sense because they have Clarkson and Conley. But I don't know. You guys can let me know below. Do you think this will be a good thing for Rose or not? And do you think he'll ever get a chance to win a ring? He is a free agent in the summer, which is good. But I don't know. I just it's so annoying to have to keep on waiting and waiting and waiting. And we don't know how the Knicks are going to use him. Things could get even worse, They could use him even less than the Pistons did. But I don't know. I think hopefully what I'm hoping for out of this situation with the Knicks is they'll give him decent amount of playing time, help him have a pretty solid stock value for the offseason. He's averaging like 15, 5, and 3 or something like that on decent splits. Then that's not bad. I'm pretty sure Thibodeau will play him though, since he, they have a pretty good connection. But I don't know. Let me know below what you guys think. And that's going to do it for me. But yeah, I'm out. Peace.